Due to the intense activities last night, Xiao Tian suffered from severe kidney deficiency. Early the next morning, Zhong Yangming looked at Xiao Tian, who appeared exhausted, and suggested, "My lord, let me prepare a comprehensive nourishing feast for you." Frowning, Xiao Tian looked at the frail Zhong Yangming and asked, "Are you sure it works well?" Xiao Tian paused for a moment, then realized that when it came to this matter, no one had more authority than Zhong Yangming. Zhong Yangming slightly moved his muscles and bones, expressing that after the prince's guidance, practicing recently had become much easier. Xiao Tian said, "I'll take you to Qingyan Mountain," preparing to fly with Zhong Yangming. However, at that moment, Zhong Yangming furrowed his brows and said, "My lord, someone is coming." Xiao Tian released some of the pressure on his body and immediately sensed someone approaching. Swiftly, a group led by Zhanisen appeared around them. Almost in an instant, soldiers clad in battle armor with blood-red patterns surrounded Xiao Tian and Zhong Yangming. The person at the forefront spoke, "According to intelligence, the holy and demonic realms are ruled by the primitive demon nation. As the Prime Minister and Prince, you should know a lot of information. If you don't want trouble, please come with us." Zhanisen gestured to Xiao Tian and Zhong Yangming and said, "If you don't want to suffer, please cooperate. Follow us." Xiao Tian and Zhong Yangming looked in the indicated direction and saw something floating in midair. Xiao Tian and Zhong Yangming exchanged glances, wondering where these people came from and what the strange floating thing was. Zhanisen stepped forward and stood before Xiao Tian and Zhong Yangming, saying, "Don't resist unnecessarily." Zhong Yangming snorted coldly, producing a talisman in his hand, and remarked, "Who is desperate now?" "It's too early to say." As Zhong Yangming's words fell, his official robe fluttered, and under the surging spiritual energy, the talisman absorbed the spiritual energy, instantly expanding. Within the sword aura, there was an imperial will, a gift from Zero Yanming to protect Zhong Yangming. Accompanied by Zhong Yangming's stern shout, the talisman's sword aura instantly slashed at Zhanisen. However, at this moment, the blood-red patterns on Zhanisen's skin erupted with a terrifying blood aura. His muscles swelled, and his body abruptly increased in size. Zhanisen brushed off the ice debris on his body, shook his head, and looked at the frail Zhong Yangming, saying, "It seems you really can't heed my advice." Zhanisen shook his head and turned towards the flying ship. At the same time, he ordered his team to break Zhong Yangming's legs. However, just as he took a few steps, a team member shouted, "Captain, something seems off." The vice-captain swallowed a mouthful of saliva, his blood-red patterns erupting wildly, and his body swelling with blood. He looked at his captain in horror as the blood energy expanded. Zhanisen noticed that his team members were all retreating in fear, their bodies swelling with blood aura. As they stepped back, shadows began to cast over them. Zhanisen turned around, and to his horror, he found that the ground around his body seemed to be blocked from sunlight. He slowly turned around, and behind him stood a 6-meter-tall giant. Transformed into a devilish muscular giant, Zhong Yangming leaned forward with a terrifying oppressive force. He spoke, "Show me your skills and demonstrate how you can make this Prime Minister despair." Zhanisen, trembling with fear, thought about how their bloodline clan naturally grew larger in stature. However, the size of the person in front of him, a fellow human, was even more exaggerated.